is talking about.
What's up, family? This is a bad one right here. I absolutely hate doing these type of stories, but it's important to bring this one to you. This one right here, it was on my heart, man. Maybe somebody will hear this story, especially one of the youngsters, and be like, man, you know what? Let me make sure that I avoid that type of situation for myself. Man. Tyrese Garvin's newborn twins lay next to him as he took his final breaths on his bed at the University of Louisville Hospital. Let me break this down for y'all. This is a 20-year-old young man. His twins were born about 1 week before he was shot randomly by some youngsters. They're just looking for some action. They shot this dude. We're talking a dude that's 3 years away from graduation. He had just graduated from high school, got a job at GE, newborn twins, a boy and a girl. He's on his way. By all accounts, he was a good guy. Everybody talking about him, good guy. Before I go any further, let me give a big shout out to Christopher 2X, the community leader out there in Louisville. Man, you got your hands full. We appreciate the work that you're doing on the ground and the other groups that you work with out there. Salute. And salute to Master P for starting that after-school program to try to help these youngsters and get some of these kids off the streets. Because as they say, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So the story goes that after he was shot, he was brought to the hospital where his twins were still in the hospital because they were born prematurely. The family, well, the mother of the children decided to take him off life support. And I'm sure she did that with the blessings of the family. Decided to take him off life support. But before she did, she brought the twins down and who were on a different floor and laid them next to their father, and they pulled the plug. Heartbreaking, man. Cold-blooded. To think that that man died that way. To think that 3 black kids, 14 to 17, was arrested for his murder. To think that they just threw their lives away in a random act of violence, senseless violence. What the hell did they get out of that? They not only destroyed Tyrese's life, they destroyed their own lives. And they robbed us. Perhaps Tyrese could have been the next great scientist, chemical engineer. Perhaps he could have came up with the cure for cancer. Or just been a good guy in the neighborhood that motivated others to do well. Great father, great husband. You know, that's also success. These dudes are a part of a number of people who are in the Louisville area since the city and county merged. that are responsible for 1,300 deaths since 2003, 4,000 people being wounded. Just this month alone, 12 people have been killed. For what? All these damn problems we got out here, and y'all figure like the best thing to do, I know what I can do. I've been marginalized and things are hard on me and my family. How about I take my dumb ass out here and make things even harder? See, you can't just tell me that it's a problem with poverty. It's the mentality. You see, I lived in a different place before where I saw real poverty. I saw people who had homes with dirt floors. And guess what? They was not killing each other. They wasn't doing it. They wasn't out in the streets beating up each other and fighting. They were not doing it. They were a community. This is when I lived in Azerbaijan. This is between Russia and Iran on the Caspian Sea. I lived there for 10 years. And I saw literally dirt poor people. But they had pride. A lot of the men, they didn't have jobs. And if you roll down the streets in the daytime, well, early morning hours, we're talking 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock. You see the streets lined with hundreds of men standing out there waiting on somebody to pick them up for a job. And they'd have suits on. Now, the suits were not in the best condition, but they were suits nevertheless. And what that showed me is that they had a sense of pride. It's like, I may not have money and I may not have the best house and all of that stuff, but I'm ready for the job. And I may not have a job, but if I have an opportunity to get a job, I'm going to be ready, no matter what the job entails. That taught me something, that is not this killing and stuff. It's not a poverty thing. It is a mentality thing. It is what goes into the minds of people and what we accept as a society in America. Because it's not just the people in the hood that's killing. It's the people in the suburbs that's killing too. They just go out and take out more people at a time. But it's killing everywhere. But this stuff that's going on in the hood, man, you have to think to yourself, how can I ever get respect if I don't give respect? If I don't respect myself? See, respect starts with self-respect. If I don't respect myself, how in the hell can I get my oppressor to respect me? How can I get those who look down on me to respect me? If I look down on myself and my own people, if I go out and destroy my own neighborhood, if I try to hurt my own people, how can I be upset if somebody outside of my community hurt my people? That don't even make sense. So how do we stop this madness? I got a couple of ideas. I was one of those youngsters out there in the streets who was wild and out of control. But I never just targeted people, just indiscriminately, just shoot somebody, just take somebody's life. I never did stuff like that. But I was in the mix. I can tell you what changed me. Love for self. I just got to a point to where I was like, you know what? I love myself. I really do love myself. So that's when I stopped putting myself in dangerous positions, dangerous situations. I was like, you know what? They shoot over there. They like to shoot and they violent, they clown. You know what? I ain't going over there. I don't care how many people go to that club. They be shooting over there. I ain't going. I'm not going to take a chance with my life. I got stuff to do. I'm going somewhere in life. Now, if you ain't going nowhere, then you feel like your life is hopeless. I ain't got nothing for you, man. Because it's going to start with you. You're going to have to look at I can do all the preaching. We can talk. I can talk till my lips fall off. It ain't going to matter until you decide you want more out of life. You can hear all of the sermons, all of the motivational speakers you want to hear. It ain't going to matter nothing until you decide that you want to change. So that's where it starts at. The change starts with self. And when a person decides that they don't want to change, because you can't help everybody, then we got to go in. So we help those who want to help themselves. We educate. We give them the tools. We have these after-school programs and stuff like Christopher 2X is doing out there in Louisville. We do those type of things. And we give them the resources to make it. We give them the tools, the trades, in order so that they can have employment. And even if they don't work for somebody else, if you have a trade, you can always be self-employed. So that's a good start. Now, we can't save everybody. For the ones who don't want to be saved, who violate the code, who make it dangerous for the women and the children in the neighborhood to walk those streets, and even the men to walk those streets, when they violate, we got to handle their asses. Oh yeah. And we got to do it indiscriminately. We got to do it. You do this, you get this. Just like they fear the police, why they ain't out here popping up the police? Because they know the consequences. We got to let these suckers know what the consequences are and make them pay. Every single time they pop up a police officer, police make them pay every time. They don't never let them get a break. You don't get a break one time if you pop a police officer. You gonna get it. The whole neighborhood gonna get turned upside down till they root you out. We gotta have the same type of mentality. We cannot get there until we get that mentality that anybody who violates our community can get it. That's how you change it. But if you got some other ideas, I'd like to hear them. Drop a comment. No more talk.
What the haters talking about?